I was 26 years old the first time I realized I encountered an almost illegal question in an interview. It was a 3-round interview, and the first person to interview me started with, "I'm not going to ask you any of the questions. I want to get to know you more personally. Like, tell me about your family." Red flag. What I heard was, "Do I have to pay for your maternity leave?" There are several questions that are banned legally from interviews, such as asking if you have a disability, asking where you were born, asking your race, asking your marital status, and that is because of the history of discrimination against particular groups. However, there are questions that people can ask to try to get around this, to get the same information. And in some cases, someone may genuinely be ignorant and trying to get to know you. So if you do any hiring, pay attention to this because it could send a really bad message. The "tell me about your family," that could be getting at, are you married? Do you have child care plans? Is this going to be an issue? And it unfairly discriminates against women. You can't ask where someone was born, but you can ask, where are you really from? Tell me about your parents. Where are they from? That can discriminate against immigrants. It can also be used to try to suss out someone's race. You can't ask how old someone is, but a lot of job applications require you to put graduation years in them. I took my years off my resume a long time ago, but some of the inputs will require it. Specifically, if someone asks you when you graduated high school, that's probably what they're getting at, because if you're later in your career or you're post-college, nobody should care. And yes, not everybody graduates high school at the same age, but again, they're trying to get around some illegal questions. Class-based questions could be, where did you go to high school? Did you go to the private one or the public one? Which neighborhood did you live in? Where are you living right now? Some places might want to know if you're local, but others might be wanting to know, are you in one of the nicer areas? If you're asked this, I would just say that it's an easy commute. That's all they should need to know. For many of these questions, I think the safest thing to say is, "That's really interesting. Can you tell me how that relates to this job?" Or, "Wow, I really thoroughly read the job description and I didn't see anything about that on there. Has it been updated?" But what's always a red flag and a very classist question, what was your previous salary? None of your damn business. This is used to try to lowball you. If you have any other options, take them, because this tells you something about how that company treats their employees. It's always going to discriminate against people from low-income backgrounds. When I finished my master's degree, I went from making $16K to $60K. I would not have been able to do that if they had asked me this question. And it's unfair if I would have been working alongside other people making $60K while making God knows what they would have offered me if they had known it was 16 they were competing with. Stay safe out there, and interviewers, make sure you're asking really job-relevant questions. Even if somebody is really friendly and you're getting along well with them, be careful how you come across.